Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Legacy Wrestling, episode 12. This is Slam. Let's waste no time getting straight into the action. We have Mauro and Aaron Stevens at ringside. Welcome to Legacy Wrestling Slam. It's me, Mauro Ronaldo, and none other than Aaron Stevens is with me tonight. Welcome. Aaron, tonight we have a huge main event for you tonight. We're working Dakota Kai versus Mercedes Martinez. The images flash of Dakota then Mercedes. Folks, also tonight, I'm already messing this up, but Dakota Mercedes are facing off to determine who will face Mickie James. Mauro also says, folks, also tonight is our world champion, and he's in action. That's right, Leon Ruff will have the privilege, and I do mean privilege, says Aaron Stevens, of facing the Legacy Wrestling World Champion, Claudio Castagnoli. Mauro says, and rumors are swirling that we should have Killer Kross in action tonight as well. Steven says, another stacked edition of Slam. Hey, Mauro? Mauro says, indeed, Audible. Let's waste no more time getting straight into the action. That's exactly what we're going to do. A 79% out the gate with Mauro and Averton Stevens welcoming us to the show. We have Claudio, our champion, making his way to the ring, a 67%. And in the opening match, we have Leon Ruff taking on Claudio Castagnoli. Claudio Castagnoli with a 3.5-star match, 63 overall, and he gets the victory. Both workers got a little bit up overall, but this was a short match, just over 5 minutes long. Claudio gets the big win here, 63%. The Legacy Wrestling World Champion, Claudio Castagnoli, moving on to bigger and better things. After we see Bo Rotunda, remember Taylor Rotunda changed his name to Bo Rotunda at the end of last week's event over Rob Van Dam, and 83 here. He cuts his first promo as Bo Rotunda, basically showing him doing setups and squats. It shows him doing bench presses and arm curls, and then flashes Bo Rotunda with his huge trademark smile. It says, Super Slam. Bo invites a legend. So Bo Dallas, after beating the legend Rob Van Dam, has invited yet another legend. Who will it be? We'll have to find out and see. But Bo Rotunda has invited a legend to Slam Wrestling, and we're going to have to see just who that is in a short amount of time. 83 overall for Bo. Alright, next up we have David Finley Jr. in just under 3 minutes with the victory. The audience was into it, 2.5 stars. The referee work of Drake Younger and the announcing was great. David Finley Jr. made it look like a threat and helped their popularity. So David Finley Jr. really goes up 2.5 in North America. Not bad, not bad. Tracy Williams, one of our low-card workers, takes the loss here against David Finley Jr., who got a much-needed victory, 50%. Next up, we get a hype segment involving FTR and the Legion of Pain. We see the saga. We see the promo videos. We see the interference and the debut, but to date, not yet return of the Legion of Pain. We then get a graphic that says next week it'll be FTR, Dax Harwood, and Cash Wheeler tag teaming with Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Gargano to take on the Legacy World Tag Team Champions and Insanity, Damo and Abu, and Killer Kross. So 100% here. We got popularity throughout. Not bad. 100%. Let's keep going. Alright, next backstage, we see Finley Jr. approaching Claudio. The camera finds Claudio Castagnoli, the Legacy World Champion, as he's heading into his clothes, arrogantly dismissing the stagehands. Finley Jr. says, Claudio, congrats on the win. Claudio stands up, already annoyed. Claudio said, thanks, kid. Claudio laughs mockingly and continues to get dressed. Finley Jr. then says, for our Legacy World Champion, I'm a bit shocked it took you so long to dismiss of Leon Ruff. I was able to take care of a much more difficult opponent in far quicker fashion. Claudio, now annoyed, gets into the face of David Finley Jr. But hey, we just knocked down who's in front of us, right? Claudio then says, but he doesn't say anything. He gets cut off as Finley Jr. keeps talking. Finley Jr. says, what you say, champ? How about you and me go one-on-one and you put that championship on the line, says Finley Jr., tapping that tunnel, basically trying to taunt Claudio here. Claudio just smirks and he says, you know what, I'm feeling generous, says Claudio, looking at his championship, but not that generous. But I'll tell you what, in 2 weeks' time at Super Slam, that's our 2-hour event, if you can beat me, sure, I'll give you a shot. Not a pay-per-view, just our in-between show event. Finley Jr. smirks and puts his hand out, shocked but happy. Claudio ignores it and walks past him, calling back, see you in 2 weeks, kid. The scene fades out. Finley Jr. happy with the result, as if he defeats Claudio Castagnoli here in short amount of time, he will get a championship match against Claudio at a later date. 70% overall. Alright, next up, Killer Kross defeats Corey James with Scarlet Bordeaux in just under 10 minutes. 3.5-star match. Popularity boost throughout. Not bad. 60% overall. One might have expected it to be a little higher of a score, but that's fine. 60%, I can deal with that. All right, next up we get Marty Scurll Popularity changes throughout. We're basically getting a recap of Marty Scurll being laid out at Bash at the Beach. The rumors are going to be true, it appears, as Marty should be arriving and coming back at SuperSlam in 2 weeks. 82 for Marty. Alright, next up, we see Mickie James joining the commentary booth as the main event between Mercedes Martinez and Dakota Kai is up, and it's up next. And in the main event, we have a 3.5-star match, 66% overall, as Dakota Kai cheats to win and gets the victory over Mercedes Martinez. Dakota Kai doing exactly to Mercedes what Mercedes did to her. We have popularity going up throughout for everyone except for Mercedes in Latin America and Europe, whereas I guess they did not like it. 66 overall here. And as the post-match happens, the bell sounds, the fans are cheering Dakota's victory over Mercedes. She defeats her, going on to face Mickie James. Mercedes, the woman who cost Dakota her championship match. It's going to be Dakota Kai taking on Mickie James at SuperSlam, taking her on for the Legacy Wrestling Women's World Championship. So it's 68 in the show here. We have a 67 overall, not terrible. Small but steady gains continue across the country, across the world, across the Legacy Wrestling universe. And we're going to keep pushing here. I thought this was a good show as we head into SuperSlam just 2 weeks away. We're going to have a really fun card. We know it's going to be the David Finley Jr. versus Claudio Castagnoli card. We know also Mickie James will be taking on Dakota Kai for the Legacy Wrestling Women's World Championship and a lot more stuff. But until then, until next time, it is me, Mikey Bro, wishing you a glorious rest of your day. I'm going to fade out here from Legacy Wrestling Slam here tonight, and catch you guys on the flip side.